Hi, welcome to Srihari Degree and PG College YouTube channel. Today, in this session, I am going to deal a topic called facilities planning, which is there in the operations management subject. Particularly speaking, what is this facilities planning? Facilities planning is also called as the plant location decision. Here, it is one of the most fundamental decision which is taken by the strategic level management in order to establish their factory or a plant, because it is a key decision. Why I am calling it as a key decision means it involves investing a huge amounts of money. Once of all a time a plant is constructed or else a factory is constructed means it's all about it's over. At any cost we should manage the forthcoming circumstances and all those things with our strategies and as well as our like forward planning. And it is very advisable not to change or not to shift the location frequently. Once a place is chosen, it's over. Because if you goes on changing your plant or the place, what happens means it increases the cost of production. And why this plant location decision is crucial for any company means because this particular decision influences the expansion plan of the business and the diversification plan of the business. Diversification means producing new products or extending the product line or creating new product lines. And moreover, the market conditions, changing market conditions. The market conditions are very dynamic. The operations manager should be very careful before taking this decision, that is choosing a place for constructing a factory. And again, the sources of raw materials. Usually, every factory is constructed near to the marketplace. The reason is to procure the raw materials in a short span of time whenever they required without spending additional costs. And again, besides all this, there are plenty of factors or determinants which influences this plant location decision. Now let us examine what are those. Before that, let me tell you the steps in site selection. How a site is selected for a factory or for constructing a plant. There are 4 steps fundamentally speaking. The first step is selection of the region. First, the operations manager should select a region to construct a factory plant. To construct a factory or a plant. A region. Assume that the operations manager decided to establish or to construct a factory in Andhra Pradesh state. In Andhra Pradesh, there are 2 regions are there. One is Rayalaseema, another is coastal Andhra. In Rayalaseema, see now, the operations manager decided Rayalaseema is the best place for his proposed goods and services. So he has chosen the Rayalaseema as the best place. Now the region is selected. Then second, selecting the locality. In Rayalaseema, in which district he can proceed with this plan. In Rayalaseema, there are 4 districts are there, namely Kadapa, Kurnool, Anantapur and Chittoor. Here, again, it is another important factor that choosing a right locality. Right locality means assume that the operations manager decided Kadapa as a locality, a right locality for his proposed factory. Then after that, choosing a site in Kadapa where the factory should be established. A particular site. Assume that there are many mandals are there in Kadapa. Now the chosen site is in Rajampet mandal. Now everything is over. Region is selected, locality is selected, site also selected. Now the top management comes forward to invest the amount in order to purchase the land and to construct the factory and other facilities. So in steps in site selection, there are fundamentally 4 steps. All these steps are very important and very crucial for the success of the plant location decision. Next, we will examine the factors influencing plant location decision. There are two types of factors which influences the plant location decision. The first is general factors and second is specific factors. General factors are common for all the firms which are there in the industry. Like again, they are categorized into controllable and uncontrollable. Controllable means these are the factors which are under the control of the managements. See, by having a perfect plan and execution, they can easily manage those factors. And uncontrollable, these are completely out of control. The managements or the firms cannot control these factors because they are completely out of the management. Then specific factors. These are the factors which are particular to some firms. These factors varies from one firm to another firm. In broad, let us examine what are those factors which plays a crucial role in deciding a plant location decision by the operations manager or the strategic level management. Now let us examine what are those factors which influences the factory location decision. The first point is proximity to markets. Here, proximity means nearness or closeness. Before setting a factory or setting a plant, the operations manager should ensure that the factory should be very close to the market locality, because we need to purchase the raw materials from the market, and again after completion of the production process, the finished products should be sent from factory locality to the marketplace, so without any delay. So in order to avoid the time delay, in order to save our costs, it is a very important thing to construct our factory near to the marketplaces. And again, products nature. Basically, the products are of different types, like perishable and non-perishable. In case of perishable products, the operations manager should be very careful, because perishable products doesn't have the nature of durability. They perish very quickly. So in order to avoid the wastages or the damages, the factory should be constructed near to the marketplace. And the last one is to give prompt service to the customers or the clients. In order to serve better, in order to give quick service, the factory should be located to the nearest market localities or marketplace. The second factor is transportation facilities. So here the operations manager should ensure that the availability of the transportation facilities. Transportation plays a very, very vital role in the operations management, because transportation it's all about cost. So moreover, for some specific products and commodities, we need having multiple transportation facilities like air transport, roadways, railways, waterways and pipeline ways, etc. So this is very important to have the connectivity of the transportation to the factory. The next determinant is availability of infrastructural facilities. Infrastructure like power, water and waste disposal, etc. See, without this infra or with full-fledged infrastructural facilities, it is not possible to carry out the production of goods and services in a smooth and efficient way, because we need all these facilities in order to carry out our production related activities. See, infrastructure is again a big concept. So that's why before locating a place for constructing the factory, it's very important for the operations manager to ensure about the availability of all these infrastructural facilities. If they are not available, means he should avoid or he should skip that particular place for consideration of plant location decision. Next is labor and wages. Availability of labor is also plays a very dominant role in the operations management. Like again, here labor is divided into three categories: skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled. We need to manage these three categories in our factory environment. For that, we need to study the existing wage structure. Like, because everything we need to follow the industry norms. So when you are doing a business or you are planning to construct a plant, means you should be very aware about this study, that is a existing wage structure pattern. We need to be very careful about assessing the quality of human resources available in that locality, because it's better to to establish a plant in which there is a quality of HR is available. If not, we need to procure the labor or HR from other areas. Again, it's about cost. Then cost of production. Whenever we are able to get highly qualified labor or highly experienced labor, automatically we can control the cost of production. Then industrial relations. And we should be very careful in assessing the industrial relations, how the labor are behaving in that particular locality, like studying their behaviors, and all those comes under this particular determinant. Then next is availability of the capital. Capital, see, fundamentally capital comes always first, because we need capital for two reasons. One is to buy the fixed assets, another to carry out our day-to-day business operations. See, there are some areas in which you can easily procure the capital. In some other areas, it is very difficult to procure capital whenever you require. So you need to understand. For this, you need to do financial SWOT analysis. Like, you should understand the strengths and weaknesses of your business financial aspects. The next is policies of the government. Here, one should understand the government policies. Like, the operations manager should be very careful about in assessing the level of government involvement in encouraging the industries. Because we have different state governments in our country, all the state governments differ in announcing their industrial policies. Some governments will give priority for the industrial development, and some may give less priority for the industrial development, because again it depends upon their government attitudes and as well as their priorities. So for us, the important aspects are incentives offered and special economic zones that we have, that is special economic zones, and tax exemptions like sales and excise duties. See here, whenever the governments are offering all this, assume that there is one government which is offering high incentives, higher rate of incentives, CIS are available, tax exemptions are available. In such a case, the operations manager should give priority for this particular option, that is a particular place or locality to construct the land factory. Then climatic conditions. Climate is influencing factor. Here, in order to establish certain factories, certain specific factories, we need a proper climatic conditions. Hot climatic conditions are not suitable for all the products and services, and at the same time cool climatic conditions may not suitable for certain types of goods and services. In such a way, we need to consider a right locality or right place for constructing our plant. The next is community and labor attitudes. Yes, the negative attitudes of the labor or the people who are residing in that particular place also plays a very dominant role in choosing a decision towards constructing a plant. There are certain areas in which the people behaves very arrogantly. The same is replicated in the attitudes of the labor. So the operations manager should be very careful in choosing those particular areas. It's better to avoid those areas as much as possible by having a critical study before choosing the particular place. Then next is external economies of scale. Here, external economies means like the additional benefits that a firm is getting whenever the firm is able to accommodate with the existing environment. Here, the firm cannot offer all the things in order to carry out its production activities, like construction of infrastructural facilities or some other things which are directly connected with the production of goods and services. So for this reason, the firm or the operations manager should be careful in choosing the right place. Usually, in order to avoid all these unnecessary consequences, the plants are set up in the industrial estates or in industrial localities, because so that they can get the common benefits. So they can share the common benefits which are there already in the particular locality. So it also lowers the cost of production. See, because whenever all the facilities are available like transportation, power and incentives. If all these are available at one particular locality means the firm can easily enjoy this external economies of scale. So it results in the increased productivity and reduced cost of production. Then last determinant is supply of raw materials. Raw materials is like heart of our operations department. So in order to carry out a smooth and efficient way of production of goods and services means the firm should ensure the proper supply of raw materials, that is a continuous supply of raw materials with low cost. It is very important. And moreover, transportation also plays very important role. That's why always we should ensure to construct our plant or factory in which the raw material source is nearer. The nearest point is very important, so that you can bargain the raw materials, so that you can procure the raw materials at cheaper rates, and even you can cut off the unnecessary transport cost which you are spending in procuring the raw materials from the marketplace to your factory location. So these are the various factors which plays a dominant role in choosing a plant location decision by the operations manager.